Hi, my name is Tay Anderson. I'm an at-large member of the Denver School Board, and I'm a proud 2017 graduate from Manual High School. Seniors, this is your moment. Although it may not feel like the moment, this is truly your moment, and we are going to rise together and celebrate you. You worked 12 years to make sure that you could be able to celebrate this accomplishment, and we are going to celebrate it together. That is why I just wanted to say I'm so proud of you. And I'm going to be with you every step of the way, no matter where you go in your life's journeys. And I'm looking forward to seeing how you change the world. So with that, congratulations, 2020.
Good evening, Prep Academy community, to our families, parents, teachers, and last but not least, our students. Coming from you through video and not live, this is not the celebration that you deserve. It is not the recognition that you deserve. You deserve more. But I want to just leave a few words with you as a love note from me to you, to share about how excited I am about the future that you're going to write for yourself. Because from chaos comes order, and you all have the power and authority to write that future. Start with a quote from Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Robert Frost. The beauty of taking the road less traveled lies in opportunity for each of you to be the author of your unfinished story, your story. You've come to the end of this chapter in your life, a graduation, a celebration. It's a milestone. Congratulations. But there's further roads for you to travel. It's a new beginning for you. The possibilities of a journey before each of you require you to find new openings, contribute your voice and gifts to the world to persevere in the face of adversity, whether it is personal or global, and to see the infinite possibilities for good, even when so much wrong seems to persist in our world, even when there seems there is no hope, there is. You are that hope. You are that change. So this is your day, graduates of 2020. But the journey is not just about you, it is about us. You will not travel this road alone. You do this for the culture. You do this for family. You do this for your loved ones. So remember that when others question if you belong, remember that when others doubt your place and your abilities, or they try to stand in your way, have heart, soul, and you have culture. Those who raised you, guided you, and continue to love you, and gifted you with wisdom and courage and lessons that will stay with you from now to the end of your days. This chapter has ended, but the work remains unfinished. I look forward to the stories that you will write, the dreams that you will make a reality, and the change that you will create and bring anew. This is not the ending, the celebration that you deserve, but I hope that you find the silver lining in this, that you are loved, and there are infinite possibilities awaiting you in your future. Thank you. I now want to turn it over to our keynote speaker for the evening, Mr. Jonathan McMillan.
You may not use two-way or three-way calling, or this call will be disconnected. You are connected.
Hi, my name is Jonathan McMillan, and I'm the founder of Be Better Than Average. And my mission in life is to help young people like you get the skills, support, and the mindset that they need in order to successfully build and live the lives that they dream of. Today, I have the honor and the privilege to be able to share with you this day as you celebrate one of the greatest achievements of your life. So congratulations. I, along with your school leaders, family, and classmates, are very proud of what you've accomplished, especially now during such uncommon and unusual conditions. To graduate during a global pandemic, you've demonstrated leadership character traits of commitment, consistency, and courage, which will continue to help conquer whatever challenges life brings your way, as long as you don't get comfortable. Everyone has heard the ancient, unanswerable question, which came first, the chicken or the egg? I ask, who cares which came first? Because really the question that really matters is, what happened next? Hey, let me share a story with you. A few days ago, I watched a documentary called Antarctica, A Year on Ice. And the movie was about what it's like to live in Antarctica, literally the coldest, darkest place on the planet for a full year. And that year includes the winters where nights last for months and the temperature regularly drops below a negative 40 degrees. And one of the researchers shared how sometimes it gets so cold that she could really feel the danger, and the only thing on her mind was getting out of the conditions she was in and just trying to be warm again. She said that it was really hard to focus on gathering all the gear and doing what needed to be done rather than just run for the nearest vehicle or whatever. It's amazing how your instinct just snaps, she said. It's only natural for us to desire comfort and safety, especially if things outside of our control seem dangerous, unfamiliar, and scary. It's that instinct, the drive for comfort and safety, which has kept us alive, strong, and at the top of the food chain for hundreds of thousands of years. It's that drive for comfort and safety and ease which has created so much innovation over the years. Houses, apartments, indoor plumbing, refrigeration, central heating, different forms of transportation, Lyft, YouTube, Grubhub, Uber Eats, even TikTok and Fortnite. In other words, it's that instinct for not only survival, but also comfort and safety that helps us make things work for us. In that same documentary, another Antarctic researcher tells the story of coming in from outside and a colleague asking him as he walked in the door if it was cold outside. Now, I remind you, they are stationed at the South Pole, where even on the warmest of summer days, temperatures don't usually rise above negative 14 degrees. But still, he responds to her, no, not too bad. And then, after a few moments, he processes and takes note of the absurdity of the conversation. They're in the middle of winter, it's been dark for months, it's negative 47 degrees, and someone just asked him if it's cold outside. And he thinks it's a nice day. It's fascinating, he says, as he reflected on the exchange, how our perceptions of what we consider normal have shifted. And I share the second story to make this point. Humans are very, very adaptable. Our minds are so powerful that the desire for comfort and safety is so strong that we have the ability to make things feel safe and comfortable, even when conditions are less than ideal. Again, we make things, including our minds, work for us. And that brings me back to the only real question about the chicken and the egg. Again, it shouldn't be about which came first, but really about what happened next. See, the egg is a comfort zone, a safe, warm place where under all the right conditions, an embryo has everything it needs to grow and develop into a healthy chick, which eventually hatches from the shell and is born. Hopefully it grows to have a relatively long and productive little chicken life, finds a nice little chicken spouse, and does whatever chickens do to be happy. Or an egg can also be a comfort zone in which the embryo never really develops and eventually becomes part of somebody's breakfast. As I pointed out before, it's our instinct to create comfort zones because they help us feel safe and protected. Sometimes they're physical comfort zones, like in the first story where the researcher felt the danger of the miserable condition she was in and how it was hard for her to focus on doing anything other than just running for whatever was available for her to get warm again. But a physical comfort zone can be as simple as how you decorate your room or your locker or even the style of clothes you wear. See, sometimes we create mental comfort zones, like not ever choosing something different from a restaurant because you know what you like and you like what you want. Sometimes our comfort zones are emotional, like when you feel attracted and connected to people who you feel you can trust, or at least you know that they're consistent. Even if that consistency is negative, you're comfortable with them. You've created comfort zones before. In fact, you've created comfort zones many times in your life, probably without ever realizing it. You've done it every time you've gone someplace new, different, and unfamiliar, like a new school or when you move to a new neighborhood. You've done it at the start of every single new school year, when you didn't know what to expect from your teachers, classmates, or even yourself. You've been creating physical, mental, and emotional comfort zones all of your life, even before you were born. Your mother's womb was that first comfort zone. And not only was it the first, it was the ultimate, because you literally had everything you needed to grow and evolve into the person that you were meant to be, up until it was time to go. When you outgrow a comfort zone, it becomes too small to move. You begin to starve. You begin to deconstruct. You begin to wither, and eventually you no longer exist. See, that's the thing about comfort zones. They serve a purpose for a while, but when you've grown and gotten all that you are supposed to get from that comfort zone, it's time to move on to the next phase of your life. See, here's the cold hard fact. If you don't decide to leave that comfort zone on your own, like a chick hatching from the eggshell, only two things can happen. You're either removed by force of someone or something else, or you become an egg McMuffin. And now, as you are graduating from high school, you are approaching that time once again where it's time to leave your comfort zone. Just like the day you were born, you are entering into the next stage of your life. And that can be whatever life you choose for yourself. Now, I realize that you are entering that next stage under world conditions unlike anything anyone has faced in 100 years. The last time humanity experienced a global health threat like this was the 1918 flu pandemic. Its impact on the world, including the U.S., was very much like coronavirus. No vaccine was available, treatment options were limited, and efforts to control the outbreak were very similar to those that we see today. Isolation of people who are ill, quarantine of those who've been exposed, and social distancing measures such as school closures and bans on public gatherings like graduation ceremonies. And many people probably look at the current circumstances with fear and dread, but I get excited and I encourage you to also get inspired. When you look at all the things that people have invented and the progress we've made in 100 years since what was called the Spanish flu, I can't help but wonder what will come about in the next 100 years. In just the first 10 years after that last pandemic, the technology that led to computers and even our cell phones was invented. Mass media communication was introduced through commercial radio. Air travel was revolutionized. Camera technology advanced. The traffic light, which was invented by the son of two African slaves, began to be mass produced and used in cities all over the country. And even Mickey Mouse was created and introduced to the world, leading the way for the Walt Disney Company to be one of the most successful empires in the history of the world. You, the class of 2020, are the leaders of that next great generation. This year, this class will forever be remembered as the generation that turned this country and this world into a new, better direction. Yes, let's all acknowledge that it sucks to miss out on the typical graduation celebrations and traditions that usually come with completing high school. I'll tell you, no cap, there's no point in feeling sorry for yourselves because there's no changing what is. The only thing that matters is what's next, because what's next is all that there is. You can consider yourselves fortunate to be graduating right now when everything in the world is on reset. Not only will you have unique memories of graduating during a once-in-a-lifetime historic world event, but also right now can be the perfect time to become who you need to be and do what you need to do in order to build the life that you want to live. I'm here to remind you that you have the right and the power to create better circumstances, conditions, and a better life for yourself. You are capable of greatness if you're willing to move out of that comfort zone and do things you've never done before. I want you to believe in your abilities and have the courage to get out of your own way. You will know that you are living outside of your comfort zone when you begin to live life by these 6 rules. 1. You refuse to let your past limit your dreams and your goals for your future. 2, you refuse to ever accept less from yourself than what your dreams deserve. 3, you refuse to accept failure as permanent. You instead look for and learn the lesson that failure is teaching you. 4, you refuse to feel sorry for yourself, but rather spend that energy on developing yourself. 5, you refuse to accept someone else's opinion of what you can do as fact. Those opinions are usually based on their failures and their limitations. And 6, you refuse to use comfort zone words like can't and try and but. You can do it if you're willing to do whatever it takes. You give none and you take no excuses. With that mindset, you can be legendary. All you have to do is decide if you're going to be the chicken or the egg.
Hello, students of the graduating class of 2020, family and friends. My name is Jamie Gonzalez Duran, a soon-to-be graduate of Prep Academy. Thank you all for the opportunity to be able to speak to you as a whole. First off, let me start off by saying, wow, what a ride. During the school year of 2019-2020, some of us have experienced many bumps. For example, one of my bumps was staying on track in school, which I did. And all of us received a big bump at the end of our senior year, which was the worldwide pandemic. I want to tell my fellow classmates that we did it. I had faith in every one of you. I'd like to tell you all a bit of my senior year experience. Although it wasn't how every senior year is expected to be, I still enjoyed it. And I hope the others enjoyed their year also. I started my senior year 2 months pregnant. As I hit the doors on my first day of school, I prepared myself for criticism I may end up getting. I experienced many rough days and many good days, but I kept pushing, not letting myself give up for me, my family, and my baby. Now I am the first generation to graduate. Being first gen has been an honor to me and my family. My father migrated from Honduras, and with me being his oldest and graduating, I know he's proud of me. I want to let my mother know that I did it, the first to graduate. I thank all of my family for pushing me to finish. Even with the baby, they still made sure I finished. And if we did it, anyone can do it. Now let's talk about my fellow classmates. During the school year, I've seen many of you have trouble staying together. Although you guys had a hard time, I still saw you guys pushing to the end, and here we are at the end. This isn't so much of an end though. It's a start to our adult life where we all get to move on to good jobs, a family, and many other experiences we all want to do when finishing high school. I also want to thank my classmates, family, and close friends. Without you all, we wouldn't have each other to graduate with, and to watch each and every one of us reach the light of a bright future. Finally, I want to tell my classmates that I'm proud of you all. Thank you for everyone, and congratulations, class of 2020. We did it.
Saint Elijah Isaiah Alvarado. Jose Carrizales. Marcos Castillo. Josiah Coronado. Anthony E. Durst. Devin Emery. Jamie Lee Gonzalez Duran. Ashton Murnane. Carmen Orozco Chavez. Mariah Ray Salazar. Giovan Soto. Jacqueline Valenzuela.
As the principal of Prep Academy, I hereby certify that these seniors have met all of the requirements set forth by the Denver Public School Board and the state of Colorado. I hereby declare the class of 2020 to be graduates of Prep Academy. Graduates, please join me by moving your tassel from the left to the right, signaling your graduation from Denver Public Schools. Congratulations, class of 2020.